Welcome to Whose Turn Is It Anyway, a board gaming podcast where we welcome you into our gaming group while we talk about all the bits of cardboard and minis we've played with recently. I'm Becky, the current first player, and today I'm joined by Adrian.
Hello.
Kerley.
Hi, everyone.
And JP.
Oh, yeah.
So before we get into our episode, which will feature discussions on expansions and upgrades to your games, how are we all?
Super duper. Thanks for asking.
Beautiful, thank you.
I'm good too.
Wow, we've got a whole house full of... You sound it. Do you want to tell your voice?
I'm good too.
Great.
No.
My name's Adrian.
I
Nothing excites
I didn't realise
me.
that this was the lightning round. That was all. I was expecting a bit more conversation.
No.
I'm all good. Also, I've been doing 4 days of manual handling training. And do you know what? It was actually really good. It
doesn't sound it.
No, I know.
You're not selling
I
it.
was thinking this is going to be drier than a desert flip-flop. But actually, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
What you were going to say then?
Heavy editing on that.
No,
It's
Idiom.
fine.
I've only ever said desert flip-flop. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's fine. But every time you say manual handling, I just imagine Kerley going, "Oh, I've got something you can handle." Like, have you said this when she said, "I've been doing manual handling"?
No, he's missed out, hasn't he?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Mate, I've said similar.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not called manual handling anyway. It's called safer moving and handling.
No, I prefer manual handling.
No, you shouldn't be manually handling. You should be
Observing.
moving safely. Yeah.
Delegating the manual handling to someone else.
Yeah.
I
No, it was
did-
really good.
How about this? Let's negotiate. I did talk about being able to handle my boxes earlier on.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. This has gone off script. I like it.
But we're all good then.
Yeah, we're good.
Back to the script.
Back to the script.
All good.
So we're all fine and let's get on with the show. The first round is Let's Talk About Hex. I'm not going to do the Adrian song, which is always a disappointment, but we can look forward to it when Adrian does it again, can't we?
Yeah.
So this is where we share what we've been getting to our tables. JP, let's start with you. What's been rearing its lovely head? I don't know where that went.
JP.
Yeah, apparently me. It's not a physical table that this thing has appeared on. It's
Okay.
a virtual table
Okay.
in the form of Tabletop Simulator.
Oh.
So I was basically roll back UK Games Expo episode. My one regret of that whole experience was that I've been eyeing up a demo of Terraria, right?
Yeah.
The board game, and I've been trying to get on and have a look. And every time I went back, it's always busy. It's always busy. Like for the whole 3 days, I just couldn't do it. And we spoke with Matt at the press event from Paperfort Games. And so he basically gives us a kind of an overview and a spiel of the game, which is why I was quite excited to try it out. It didn't happen. However, fast forward to now. And I dropped him an email and said, basically a little sob story saying, I never got to play the game and I really want to play it. And to be fair, he replied and went, no problems, I got you. Let's jump on a TTS mod and I'll run you through it. And I thought,
That's
let's do
nice.
it. So we did that. And for those that don't know what Terraria is, I don't know if you guys have heard of the
I know
video
the
game.
board game. Sorry, the video game.
Yeah, it's kind of like Minecraft 2D. It's probably nothing like... I've never played it, so I can't really compare it massively. But, you do dig in and you craft weapons and tools and things. And, yeah, you kind of build stuff. And there's these monsters all over the place that you have to kind of, like, kill and get stuff and level up. And then at times these big bosses come and just wreak havoc. And you're like, shit, what do you do?
That does sound exactly like Minecraft.
It's like that, but it's kind of 2D, but it's got a massive following on the old video game side. So anyway, they've done a board game version, and pretty much it's all driven by kind of cards. So you kind of get a hand of cards out of your deck, and on your cards will have these little green circles which depict action points that you will have. So you'll draw into your hand, you'll get action points, which you can move around the map and dig and attack and do all those kind of lovely things. And we played just a quick 2-player. So some of the cards allow you to kind of assist other players and give them some extra actions, and you can rest and heal up and all those kind of things. But it's true sandbox. It's like he basically laid down the rules and went, this is how it kind of works. What do you want to do? And you're like, I don't know. I'll go over there and chop that tree down. Okay, is this what you do? Cool. Got some wood. Lovely. And then it's like some green slime things. Like, okay, I'll go and have that. So I went and tried to have that. Failed miserably. and tried it again, failed miserably. I thought, I'm not very good at fighting. and yeah, basically the map is kind of, how do you explain it? But it's basically 5 rows of cards, and each 3 columns of cards are a biome. So you start with like a forest biome, and if you go all the way to the left or right, you'll probably go desert or jungle or whatever. So you can kind of go left or right at ground level. We can start digging down and start basically going wherever the hell you want, farming all sorts of cool stuff in the depths and finding skeletons and things like that. And it works really well. Like for a board game that has a complete 2D nature, and gravity works how you would expect gravity to work. So if you dig down and there's a hole, what's going to happen? You're just going to fall like whee all the way down to your probably death, unless there's cobwebs to kind of soften the landing.
Cobwebs often do that.
They do, yeah, if they're strong enough.
Yes, that's true.
In this game, they are. But you can kind of craft ropes and platforms to kind of help you descend if it's a big cavern as such. So there's some really cool bits about the game that I really, really enjoyed. So for the kind of main physical game, which obviously I didn't experience, but you have your like character boards, and there you have all your resource that you're tracking in terms of different things like copper and diamonds and wood and all that kind of stuff, which you craft with, which is all kind of usual standard stuff. But you have your like little player area, which is your character. So when you kind of craft better armor or equipment, you literally have these perspex cards, and they can kind of overlay. And they obviously have like the little armor on there. So when you overlay them, they literally look like they got all the little cool stuff on them. So I really appreciate kind of how that works. That was cool. The other thing is that you kind of have NPCs that you unlock throughout the game as well. So when you basically unlock those, you can kind of get access to a card market, and you can then buy extra cards using money that you kind of acquire in the game for your deck. So you can then kind of get a better deck and kind of a better engine for doing stuff in like, digging, moving and fighting, all those kind of things. So that's all quite cool. So yeah, you got usual things in there like treasure chests, and you can get loot and equipment and bombs and all sorts of kind of fun stuff. But this game like really pops. Like if you saw anyone that was there at Expo and saw the physical kind of prototype copies that they had, and they have obviously on a big play mat, this thing really pops. Like you can't really unnotice it. It's like, wow, what is this like explosion of color that's going on there? And with all of the cards there that's laid out as you explore from your grid, as I mentioned earlier, it really like builds this world, this 2D world, and really brings it to life. And when speaking to Matt about some of the artwork, because obviously the game is pixelated, it's like pixel art, and they had to kind of go through a whole kind of a reimagining of the design for the board game, because they felt like they didn't want to go pixel, they had to go in a different direction, but it had to still be faithful and still be recognizable as Terraria. So yeah, they've done a really good job. I had loads of fun with this, probably more than I was expecting, just because it's complete sandbox. It's like off you go, and you've got these objectives on these different cards, and they're variable in the game, which is like, it starts off really easy. It's like chop a tree down. I can do that. No problem. Done. And then you get to the next card, and it's like it progressively builds and builds and builds until you kind of fulfill various different types of objectives as a team. And then it gets to a point where a boss appears, just like the video game. So we had King Slime, who's this massive bloody slime thing that appears. And by this point, I'd equipped and crafted a really awesome bow. And I could just like line of sight and bow shit from afar, and it was just like
bow shit.
Yeah, bow shit.
That's the technical.
That's the technical word for it.
And basically, I had all the cool dice because they're upgraded, and rather than the kind of crappy D4 that you start with, which is it's always like miss, starts to get up to D6s and D8s or whatever. And I was just hitting like a bad boy with the bow, and it was really good. And it's really cool. I don't know how else to kind of explain it. It's just
it's all lightweight, just
I'd say it's lightweight, but there's a lot going on with it at the same time. And I think it's just like probably like the video game, it's your imagination. So it's open, and some people might like that. Like the fact I really dig the fact that a game doesn't kind of guardrail you in. But some people might go, I just generally don't know where I'm supposed to go. But I suppose that's what these objective cards, they call them chains in the game. That's what they're for, to kind of guide you to a certain direction. And I haven't played the full game, so I had like a preview because I'd probably be on TTS for a long time. And bless Matt, he he's got a job to do, and so he spent some time with me. But hopefully in the future we'll get a full game coming up, so I'll give a proper full game experience on it in physical form as well. So yeah, watch this space on it. But yeah, I think it's one to watch if you like that kind of Minecraft-esque survival kind of game. It's a lot of fun. Like, they've done a really good job with it.
I do like a bit of like card flipping exploration type.
Oh yeah, it's got that, and it's different every time.
I like that.
It's just like, oh, we're going down here. What's down here? Oh, diamonds.
Yeah,
and then you're getting the craft book out, and
that's a lot of what I like about Clank as well. With the catacombs flipping over.
Yeah, so it's Terraria. It's definitely one to watch. Paperfort Games.
Cool.
I did think it'd be a you game when we sort of saw it at Expo, and I could see why you're excited about it. And the second you were like, you can do anything, I was like, here we go. Yeah. JP fell in love instantly.
But definitely check them out.
Sounds cool.
I think they can late pledge it now because it's going through. It's had its Kickstarter campaign. But yeah, the production copies that they're showing off, they look really neat for what you get in there. But yeah.
One to look out.
But it's a preview. I've not played the whole game, so I can't really give you my full opinion on it, but I had a lot of fun for what I played, so yeah.
Nice. Kerley, what have you been getting to the table, as if I didn't know? Lived at the same house as you and see the table.
Well, yeah, I've been really busy with gaming lately, actually, which has been good to get back a little bit more back into it, which is nice. So I think I had a state where I had like 5 nights in a row where gaming every single night or day. It was that was a lot. Just the way it ran out, but it was good fun though. It was good fun.
So I didn't have time to make manual handling puns because you were too busy playing board games.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, this is it. Sorry about that.
The only thing I'm manually handling is meeples.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about getting close to the load for that, do you? Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I've played a few different games, but mostly golden oldies, I would say, like the classics that we always play. So we won't talk about that. But went down to the Taunt Board Game Group meeting in the Holiday Inn in Taunton, and they meet every Friday between 4 and 6 o'clock in the evening till late.
Apparently they finished playing 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, they were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, turned up to that. A few of us turned up, and it was really good fun. Met a few new people, and played a couple of new games. But the one that I wanted to pick out was Chinatown. Which was Jamie's copy. So, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed having everyone at the table. Met some new people. And Chinatown, I thought, was actually a really good, fairly simple game, but just really good fun about negotiation. The idea of that game is that you essentially have this almost like puzzle type board, but hold your horses. Like, it's not a puzzle game, really, hence why I liked it. The idea is you've got, say, 90 tiles spaced out around this board, and you each get dealt 5 cards at the start, and it gets less as the game goes on, and they've got 5 numbers on them between 1 and however many it was, and you've got to pick 2 of them that maybe fit together, or maybe 3 of them depending how many you got dealt, and you've got to pick the ones that you want. So you want the ones that are close together in order to then start to build your shops and different things on it. And the idea is that you pick the 3 or the 2 later on that you want to keep, and then you get dealt a bunch of shops that say, I don't know, like a restaurant is 5 or like a factory is 6, and you've got to get 4, 5, I think it goes from 3 to 6 adjacent tiles. All right. The idea of that being is you're going to get more money if you get it complete, but you do get some money whilst you're working on it. So yeah, it's just an art of like, it reminded me, and this is going to sound bad, all right, whatever way I say it, but it reminded me a little bit of like Monopoly in a way, when you're like bargaining with someone like, oh, I really need that, I know Oxford Street to complete my set. I'll give you, this one and this one, which complete yours, and I'll throw in 100. And, and the idea is you're negotiating with all the other people on the table to try and get the cards that you want. and the shops that you want, and you're kind of like doing all these dodgy deals, and the VP is money, and you're just kind of like, oh, I'll throw you 10 grand if you and this restaurant if you give me plot number 72 or something that I need to finish my factory or whatever. And yeah, just really good fun. It just really works, really basic. And you end up like taking cards that you know someone else wants just so that you can make a good deal with them that you've noticed that they've got something that you've got, you know? So yeah, just a really interesting, fun game. And yeah, really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So definitely recommend it for those who like negotiation type games.
Yeah.
It is a bit, apparently they were saying it is a little bit like Marmite. Some people hate it.
Yeah.
Like I could imagine Rob fucking hating that game.
Well, you got to know the value of what you've got in your hand, and you've got to be brave enough to go and like either hold your horses or go out to someone and get them to give you the value of what you've got while trying to not give away too much, sort of thing, at the same time. And that's quite a hard, for some gamers, including myself, I think that's quite a hard balance, is trying to work out exactly what the value of each property is worth, and then holding your horses in order to hold out for what you want for the price you want it for.
You have to be comfortable saying no to people you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be good at that game.
No,
But I can imagine that's not the kind of game that Rob would want to play because it's a bit confrontational. And same with me. Exactly.
I will say it was super friendly. Everyone had a right good laugh, and there wasn't anything serious going on. Like when there was negotiation going down, it was all really, really friendly. So if I was like, no way, then it was absolutely fine, no problem. But I think you definitely have to approach it with the right mentality. And if you've got one person in there who doesn't, I think that could ruin a game quite happily.
Yeah. Someone is a bit too pushy and taking it too seriously, and the rest of you would not work.
Yeah, that's it. And just getting nasty about it. Like, go on, fine then, I won't flipping have that. That completed my bloody set and all this kind of stuff. If you got someone like that, it's like game over straight away.
Yeah, fair enough.
But they were really sort of friendly and welcoming, weren't they?
Lovely. Really enjoyed it.
Strongly recommend heading down there and meeting some new folks.
Yeah, go and say hello.
Adrian, what have you been playing?
I have played Hamburg recently, which I think I said a few episodes ago. I am determined to play Hamburg, and I have now played it. It's the first game in the City collection of the sort of reprint of what Seffenfeld has done. And since Castles of Burgundy sort of made its way right to the top of my sort of top 10, I've been intrigued to try some of this City collection. I haven't. We tried Merlin a year ago or so ago, really, which I quite enjoyed. And I bought Hamburg over a year ago, and it just haven't got it to the table. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. The idea is that you are representing a mayor for the city of Hamburg that is, however many hundreds of years ago, that they're sort of rebuilding or doing whatever they're doing there. And you have 5 colours of different cards. And each colour, there's like meeples and dice related to each of them. And at the start of the game, you roll the dice, and if any of those colours are a 5 or 6, the matching catastrophe to that colour, so all these colours kind of do different things, but like if there's a 5 or 6, you'll increase the catastrophe level by 1. And if you get that 3 times in a row, then a catastrophe happens. They're quite big. It's things like throw away all your money, or ditch all of your meeples that you've been collecting through the game and stuff like that. Destroy a building, and you might build 7 or 8 of them in a game. It's quite severe. If it's a 1 or a 2, then you add up all the 1s and 2s, and that becomes an action in the sort of first phase, which is that you can move your mayor up a step, but you have to pay the amount equal to the value of number of 1s and 2s. So if there's a 1 and 2 2s, you'd pay 5 coins and your mayor can move up a step. And that's just victory points at the end of the game. The further they are up on this track, the better. But at the start of a turn, you draw any of these cards you like from the 5 different colour decks. And you can literally be like, I'll take 5 pink cards from the deck, or you can spread it out. It generally is better to spread it out. And then you'll roll those dice, and you use these cards in about 7 different ways. So they're a real multi-use card. So you can, for instance, discard a card to get the dice worth of coins. And this is why I'm saying it's good to sometimes, because if one dice rolled a 6 and all the rest rolled 1s, if someone had a card that was worth the value of the 6 dice, then you get to discard that card as one of your actions and take 6 coins. Mm-hmm. If you only had the ones that rolled 1s and 2s, you're not going to really want to discard that, but you will need money throughout the game. So it's kind of picking the right things for you, but also trying to spread it a little bit in case the dice don't come up in your favour.
Kind of sounds a bit like almost like betting, and you're trying to kind of have a broad spectrum.
Yes, it can be. There's certain bits of it which are definitely, sometimes it's like worth going down, right, well, I'll need, and I'll talk about it in a little bit in a second, but it'd be like, oh, I really need grey or something for this. Or it could be, well, I'll get a bit of everything and then I've got lots more options generally, but it may not go down the route I want to do. So as I say, you either discard the card or play the card for a number of different things. So you can discard a card and build part of the city wall, or you can discard a card and get meeples equal to that card colour. And I'm going to forget some of the various different bits you can do. Or the two sort of other big things that you can do is you can discard a meeple of that colour to build like a, I can't think what it's called, to build like a building ground for a building to be built on top of. And then the other action is you pay the money and you build a thing on top of the building ground you've put down, which is the building ground is just a card face down, and then the building on top is face up. And the buildings will do various different things. They'll either instantly give you rewards or they'll build an engine. So it might be in turn 1, gain a worker of this colour.
Yeah.
Or in phase 1, get a meeple of this colour, or get some coins, or get a victory point or something like that. It could be in round 3, in phase 3, which is the main action round where you're doing this discarding cards. It might be, as well as doing that, you can discard a pink meeple and it will allow you to do this action for cheaper or for free or something like that. And so you're kind of building up. It's very much like a Stefan Feld game. You're doing a little bit of everything. You're not really going to go fully down one channel of doing just one thing, but you'll kind of, I'll build a bit of the wall and then that'll get me some points that way, and it'll get me bonuses every time I build a bit of the wall. Or I'll build a few structures which allow me to do, I had a bit of an engine when I played, which was at the beginning of every turn I got a grey worker, and then I could spend a grey worker in the next phase to then do things for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I constantly had this little intake of grey workers that I was immediately spending in the next phase to then, like, I think I was building wall sections for cheaper and stuff like that. And that lasts for a number of rounds. I think it's eight turns it lasts for in total. So each turn is 4 actions. And you do it one at a time. So everyone will get a round of actions, then you move it along so it then shows the next round, and you'll do that 4 times, and then there's 8 turns. During those turns, one of the sort of fascinating things is that whatever number the black dice rolls, you will add a clergy member, which is the black meeples, onto the spot matching that number, and that will increase all buildings of that colour. So the number will relate to a colour, basically. Mm-hmm. There is a slight minutiae with zoos and parks, but don't need to get into that, I don't think. You will then, so if it rolled a 1, you might go, okay, it's now pink. So all pink for every clergy that's in that area. At the end of the game, all pink cards are worth 1 extra victory point. So to start off with, in the first 2 or 3 rounds, you'll get a feeling of, okay, well, brown's got a couple on and blue might have one on, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Is blue a colour? I can't think now. But whatever, orange is a colour.
Blue's definitely a colour.
Yes. I didn't know if it was a card colour. I can't remember if it's
sounds like
colour.
So you've got like a sort of market manipulation kind of a thing.
You can't manipulate it yourself, really. There are a couple of cards that allow you to move that turns 1 around, but once they're set for the round, they're there. Know. So all, like, if on the first round, if you don't manipulate it in that round, from that time onwards, at the end of the game, because you don't really score points much in the turn, most of the points are done at the end of the game. At the end of the game, every brown building will be worth 1 more point than it already is.
Yeah.
And so it's this fascinating thing of, every card has about 7 uses, and at the same time you're trying to get the card buildings to match what these extra points are coming in as well as building an engine. And it's very Feldian in that way of it. It's kind of making you do a little bit of everything and giving you loads of options to do it, but some options are better than others because of the dice that you roll and because of the way the clergy come out and because of the hazards. As I say, so if you have to ditch all your money, there is an action that you discard a card and you move the tracker back 1 so you can prevent certain disasters from happening and stuff like that. So there's loads of random bits and pieces like that. And I thoroughly enjoyed the puzzle. The one bit I'm not sure about is someone found an absolutely dirty combo in like the second round, which meant that every time in between rounds, there's like a majority thing. So if you are leading in one of these areas, you get to turn over a little marker to say at the end of the game you'll score 4 extra victory points. But every time he got to do that, he got to take 1 meeple of every colour, which is quite powerful. And then once per round, he could not spend one of the cards, but he could use the action on a card. You put a little lock thing to say that you've used it to get 5 coins and a victory point for every meeple of each colour. Of every meeple, 1 of each. So if you had 3 of each colour, you'd get 15 coins, which is a ridiculous amount of money, and 3 victory points. And every time he was ahead on something,
he got 1 of each colour.
He got 1 of each colour. So
fueling it.
It was just literally by turn 3, I was like, I'm done. And okay, it was only a 2-player game, but it was one of those where it was like, okay, is this a filthy card combo that only comes up once in a while? Is it going to happen more than once? If you're playing with more players, is it more of a thing, less of a thing? I don't know. So I feel like I need to play it a little bit more for that. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game. There's expansions already printed on the board that you're supposed to play with that we didn't.
Right.
There's about 5 expansions, and apparently it's quite common to throw 2 or 3 of them, like they're little modules that you automatically sort of play.
Taverns of Tiefenau kind of.
Yeah, kind of. So it's like, do you want to play with the stock market? And the stock market is super simple. Do you want to play with? There is something to do with the clergy and the way that works. So the bonuses. When they come out, it changes like each action very slightly, depending upon where. So there's loads of those kind of little modules that really enjoyed it. Need more plays to see whether or not broken combos are going to be a thing or not, because we only got like a third of the way through all the decks and we found a broken combo very early in the game. And I'm just I now want to try Amsterdam. So Amsterdam's the second one and gets a little bit more praise than Hamburg. But I'm now intrigued to do that because I do think that I'm just a Feld fan at this point.
Sounds like it's your jam.
Yeah.
My only question is there a hamburger module?
No.
There should be. There's not.
They've missed a trick if
they have.
Yeah, then they've missed a trick, yeah.
Nah, damn you.
Wouldn't that bring back memories of that flipping game you ate? What was it? About
Food chain magnet.
Food chain magnet.
Oh, right. So I ate.
Oh, I thought you said 8.
You ate.
Oh, you mean hate? Yes. Yes.
The pale white game of boringness.
Let's not talk about it and move on.
So the game I have played recently that I want to talk about is a game called Wroth, which was played around here with me, JP, Kerley, and who else played?
Rob Dog.
With Rob Dog. So the game is like an assault to your eyes. It is super bright, neon. It's really great. I can imagine if you were playing this in a conventional or a crowded space, people would come over and look at it because it's like, oh, what is that?
What is going on?
In traditional chip theory style, you can really tell it's made by them because it's got like the embroidered kind of edges of their neoprene mats. The artwork is fantastic. Really, really liked that. Basically, it is a kind of dudes on a map game. I don't like dudes on a map game, but I really liked this. When I say dudes on a map, there's basically 8 segments to this map. It's not particularly difficult. 1 in each corner and like a ring, like a dartboard in the middle with not that many sections. So the whole point is you've got asymmetric abilities where you're trying to get your people to either dominate or control certain areas of the map to win you VP. The first to 30 VP ends the game, and then you might be the winner, or you're allowed to go around 1 more time, so you might not win. You've got kind of dice in the way that chip theory, you've got dice where you're sort of rolling. It's not really a luck thing because these dice have got varying different things, like pick up a crystal, do an attack, move 2 people, whatever. So it's always good stuff. And then you can choose to bring your like super big workers out, which are little dice that you pay for using these crystals that you can get in various few different ways. And basically, combat is really simple. It can, one attack kills 1 person. Like you haven't got to roll for kind of there's no kind of can I do it? If you've got a person you attack, you're going to kill 1. That's the end of that. So there's lots of toing and froing. So you've got loads of people on your map, then someone attacks you and you've got hardly any. It kind of really cycles around. Rob's faction had a really, really good ability where he was able to bring like his little guys back from not from the dead, but from the discard pile, where you can't normally do that. And it was a pretty close game. Both the games we had, the scoring at the end was quite close, and I think that's often the mark of a good game. It shows that someone hasn't absolutely run off with it.
I ran off with it. What are you talking about?
Maybe in the second game there was a bit more of a difference, but
Yeah, but I felt it was like a moral, like, stupendous victory.
oh, okay, right. So Kerley's taking the moral victory, fine. But
Quite clearly.
but actually, on the scores, the numbers weren't very different. But morally, yes, I'm sure Kerley definitely was
Kicked
victorious.
ass, whooped all your butts.
Morally, Kerley wins all the games he plays.
Yeah.
But
The
it
problem
was
is, according to the score, I don't.
well, yeah, and I guess depends. Are you looking for the moral victory or the numbers? I'm going to stick with numbers for this one. So I was kind of leading quite a long way, and then in that traditional way, you've kind of spaffed all your goodness out, and then you got nothing left.
You put your
That's a
neck
quote
out.
for the age, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll put that on the side of the box.
Yeah. Spaffed all my goodness out.
Well, then you got no people, and that's it.
The trouble is with that game is like most games that are a race is that if you stick your neck out too quick, everyone just lops it off.
That's what happened.
And that's what happened to me. Yeah, that is what happened to me.
We're not having it.
So yeah, you can't kind of get a lead super early because people will just nerf you straight away. Yeah. So yeah, you need to kind of do a sneaky, I'm getting points here, but not too many all of a sudden. Oh, look, there we go, I've won. Oh,
slingshot.
done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was really good because you've got so many different factions in Wroth. I think you could play this game quite a lot before you even start to get bored. And then I think every game's going to change because it's going to depend on how people play. Mm-hmm. So I can see it having quite a lot of replayability. Yeah. It's really quick as well.
I really want to give this one a go.
Yeah.
Like yourself, I'm not always the biggest fan of dudes on a map. Sometimes they work. Most of the times I don't think they do personally, but for me. But this is one that every time you guys play and talk about it, I'm like,
it was good. I want to get it to the table again. Actually.
The only game I can compare it to, and that's because it's the only real game that I've played dudes on a map, is Inish. I don't know that it's actually very like Inish at all, other than you're not bringing out lots of people and attack is very simple. Like, one attack equals one death of the other person. Like, it's not a partial thing or a dice roll. So I really like that because it means that combat isn't complicated and you can sort of know what the state of the board's going to be, which is quite nice.
I think for me, it's the fact that it's just quick.
Yeah, super
and
quick.
Snappy and you know, it's all based on that kind of dice pool. And, you know, sometimes you're like, I'm looking for that. And you're like, you're not getting that. But there's always that you spend 2 dice to do the Exodus action, which means then you can do this like mass
super
Exodus
powerful
thing. So there's always a way around it. But it's the fact you can just like get a game done in an hour.
It does seem like they've designed a really good convention game because the box doesn't seem massive.
No.
Yeah.
Box is small. Time is small.
Set up in a minute.
Set up quick. Teach, I've been told, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Waterproof because it's mine.
It's what you want at a convention.
Yeah.
Or the beer.
Yeah, because it's chip theory. It's
true.
Nice, nice quality pieces and neoprene mats. And your cards are not made of your traditional cardboard
PVC.
cards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Being run-proof is quite useful.
Being run-proof is useful around Davey. Yeah, for sure.
I forgot all about that incident.
So yeah, Wroth definitely.
Because you were too pissed.
I was very pissed.
Wroth definitely giving it a go. Yeah. Really, really enjoyable game.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
For someone that doesn't like dudes on a map or that kind of game, I had a really good time with it.
Yeah, good.
On to the main event then. Expansions and upgrades then. We have done previous episodes all about expansions. Episode 23 for upgrades back in March 2023. And episode 7, I think it was, in June 2022 for upgrades. So we've talked about this quite a bit. So this whole episode idea came about because of Ark Nova. So whoever's playing the Whose Turn Is It Anyway drinking game at home, yes, take a drink because I've just said Ark Nova.
Ark Nova.
So Ark Nova has just had a 3D edition sort of version on crowdfunding.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd heard about it.
I've not heard of it.
Yeah.
Did anyone back it?
No one has done that.
And I think calling it an expansion is a bit of a misnomer because there is very minimal content. In fact, there's an arcade. There's one card and one little model, but it does have very, very swanky upgraded pieces. 3D enclosures, new game boards, card sleeves, metal money tokens, the whole shebango.
We've got new maps as well, dear.
New
Let's
maps.
not forget
but
that.
we already have both the map packs, don't we?
Oh.
So just, yeah.
It's what the kids call a glow up.
It is a
Right,
glow up.
yeah.
You're absolutely right, JP. It's a
Do I
glow up.
sound like I'm hip? I'm hip.
yeah.
I'm hip. I'm with it.
No. But you sound like you know the parlance. So very
I know
good.
the parlance,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make me cooler.
So when Kerley and I first heard about this, we were like auto backing this. It's like, yep, definitely, 100%, got to be done. Then we saw the price point and we were like, oh, that's a bit pricey and there's no new content. So maybe we won't do it. No.
Please see an episode 3 ago.
Yeah.
I just went, no,
Well, then we're definitely not doing it. And I'm not kidding. We must have flip-flopped from no to yes and back again about 4 times. So I just want to point out, I'm not trying to sell this 3D edition to anyone, and the crowdfunding's finished, so it's too late anyway. But what I'm really interested in is what sort of helped us make that decision. So we went no to yes. I mean, you could argue that what made us make that decision was we were really, really jet lagged from going back on holiday and we just pulled the trigger.
That's how they get
But
you.
yeah, but so it's not really an expansion. And it is an upgrade for bits, but it's completely and utterly unnecessary. And it made me kind of start thinking about expansions and sort of not the morality exactly, but when you bring out a new game, when a board game designer brings out a new game, is it really kind of morally right for them to bring out this game when they know there's already an expansion planned? It's like, well, is there any good to that? Should they just wait until they've done the expansion? Is it good that you can learn an easier game and then add it on? I don't know.
It's an interesting discussion. You know what? That I don't mind if there's one planned. You know what really hacks me off is when they sell an expansion with the actual game itself. When you're kickstarting it, it's like, yeah, you can have the game, or it'll be another £100 if you buy these 3 expansions that can come with it. It's like, oh, fuck off.
that then should be together, shouldn't it? If you're selling it at the same time, it's not an expansion. I guess you could argue it's an optional difference, so you don't have to play with them.
Like it.
So Primal was the perfect example for me. So I backed Primal just with the base version and with one expansion that I wanted, and I've left all the others on the shelf. Or didn't back them, rather. And I can't see myself needing those expansions. But it's there if you want them, and if you're going to use that a lot, then it's already pre-done.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Expansion King JP, what is your feeling about expansions and things?
Yeah, they're all right, aren't they?
Well, yes, I know you're going to say that, but what do you think they should? I know. Why do you want expansions? Is it because you want the variety? That's what I think you like.
No, there's multiple elements for me, and it really depends on the type of game it is. So, the completionist in me,
Yeah, see, I have that, and that's when I know that they're manipulating me
is
now.
problematic at best. So you go down the bones line. I feel like I've gone so far, I have to complete it.
You're pot committed.
And it's like, well,
too many
I'm
bones.
already 60% in. What's another 40%? That turns out a lot of money. But
Yeah.
so there's that element, which obviously gives you the variety and other stuff. But yeah, I think as I got a little wiser in my years, I'm not as mad on them as I used to be. I think when I was kind of earlier on in the hobby, when I wanted everything, I would just auto buy expansions for the sake of it.
Before you'd even played the
Before
base
I'd even
game.
play the base game
Yeah.
a lot of the time. And I am better. I'm not saying I've got out of it, but I am better at that. Maybe because I'm playing the base game quicker, and therefore then I kind of buy it. I think for me, it's just, it's more completionist. So it's kind of like, it'll be better with it, won't it? Obviously.
That's my problem with the whole Kickstarters offering loads of expansions. I think it's taking advantage of completionist, but also FOMO kind of scenario.
Yeah.
I just think it's just taking advantage of it. If you can be like Adrian and just be like, no,
Don't.
oh, Adrian.
No, but he's very
The
logical.
model, but yeah, exactly.
Like,
but like,
head
if
over
you
heart.
could just go, no, I'll have the base game and I fancy that one. I'm not bothered about the other 6. I'll leave them be. Then it wouldn't be an issue for me. But I'm a bit like JP.
Yeah.
If I see something, I'm probably going to have it.
I want it.
Do you know what I mean? Like that is like, my biggest problem. I've backed 4 Kickstarters or Game Founds in the last month, and they've all been like additions to, or known franchises, and it's my weakness.
Achilles heel.
One of my, I suppose, gripes to some extent is when you don't know if a game is going to make it to retail, or feels like they deliberately obscure if it's going to make it to retail and what their plans for the future are, and they're kind of big companies. It's going to go to retail, and you can make the decision on whether the deluxe components are worth it or not. Especially some of the smaller studios, they may not know if it's going to make it to retail. And I feel like, well, I kind of need it all, because if it's not going to go to retail, it might be my favourite game ever.
And it's my only chance
And
to
it's
get
my
it now.
only chance. And there was a moment with Primal where I thought, I can't imagine them putting this out there into retail very much because of the size of the box and all these miniatures and all that lot. Do I need to back it all now? I did exactly the same with Catch the Snitch, because I thought, I bet you that would. And then at the last minute changed my mind, and kind of glad I did, that I then ditched all the add-ons off the back of that. And I think there is that feeling of, is this going to make it to retail? If I think it's not, and I'm really invested in the game, I have to back everything, because otherwise I might miss out. Whereas some games, because the publisher repeatedly puts things to retail, where sometimes I'm completely put off by the Kickstarter in the first place, because I think, well, I'll just get it at retail. But quite often I'm definitely put off of a lot of the expansion add-ons. Some of the bling add-ons, no, get them while I've got the opportunity. But the expansion ones especially, don't need it until I've played it once, and then probably it's available in retail. I can do that. That's kind of my way of thinking that.
So what is a game, have we got any in mind that have absolutely ruined the base game, adding the expansion? Can anyone think of any of those?
Yeah.
Go on. What's your game?
Lorenzo.
Oh, okay.
So Lorenzo Il Magnifico, it's a base game. It's got an expansion, Houses of the Renaissance. Nothing wrong with that. Fucking brilliant. Always play with Houses of Renaissance, because that, again, adds variety, adds asymmetry. No problem with that. And whether you call it an expansion or not, it's an additional set of cards. It's called the Patsy Conspiracy. And it comes in the big box now. So if you get the big box of Lorenzo, which I think is the only kind of version you can get, it's in there. But it's a module, but it is an expansion. And what it does, it adds knobbiness to the game, which...
But you normally like that.
I know, but in theory, you're like, oh, that's quite cool, because you can build like a thieves guild. And then when you run that particular building, you can steal shit off people. And it's all good. But we played at... the North Devon
Fox and Hounds weekender.
Yeah, whenever it was. And it's probably my least favourite game of Lorenzo I've ever played. And I think it's because of what it created at the game table. It just created a lot of negative...
There's a lot of butt hurt.
A lot of horribleness that in that game.
I was all right.
Yeah,
because you were the one causing the butt hurt.
You profited from it. But it wasn't the fact that like you were doing well at it or anything like that. It just
I was gleeful.
It was the I'm an emotional vampire, right, at the table. Yeah. So if everyone's not having a good time, I'm going to sink real fast. I'm just going to be like, this is great. And loads of people just weren't having a good time with it, and it just destroyed that game for me. And that's it. If I'm going to be honest, it kind of knackered my weekend, because I was just like, I'm done with gaming for the moment. So
especially if one of your really, really up there favourite games and you've had a really bad experience with it, that's going to almost like it's like opening a packet of crisps and you think it's going to be salt and vinegar, and it turns out it's, I don't know,
just vinegar.
It's just raw
turns
vinegar.
Out it's not crisps at all. It's actually a packet of.
Yeah, and I think it just, when you kind of dissect why, and I think it's trying to add more interaction to the game, but it's not positive at all. It's all negative.
Yeah.
And actually, that game doesn't need any negative interaction. It should be around your efficiency, and the knobbiness really comes from, I stole that card before you did, which is part of the game, and that's okay, because that's just about racing and getting your economy to a point where you can get it. But yeah, it completely got to the point where I immediately removed those cards.
So you'll never play with them again?
Never playing with them again.
Okay.
They're done.
We even tried to talk you down. We're like, just remove one of the cards.
No.
And it was like, no, I'm getting rid of the whole extra set of cards.
Yeah, because I'm at a point, it's like, that one card is in balance. How the fuck do we know? Like, what qualifies us to say that one card is in balance against the others? So I'm like, you know what? I didn't enjoy that. That's coming out.
Yeah.
Then I will play Lorenzo, because if that's the experience it created for me, it's put me right off.
You don't want to play.
Put me right. I don't think I've played it since.
But as you say, the base game though,
brilliant.
We've had quite a few fun games of it.
99% of my games of Lorenzo have been great.
Yeah,
it's just that one.
So knowing that you can expulsion.
Yeah.
That'll always go down as my favourite game.
The game that broke JP.
It wasn't JP. I broke Adrian, Marcus, and Davey in one go. I'm happy with that. That's like record.
Yeah,
that's like not a 3-pointer. That's like throw from the other end of the basketball court, kind of straight in.
So yeah,
one card broke 3 people's engines for a whole game, and it was
beautiful.
Like, what
it
are you
was
doing?
A thing of beauty.
I think that's interesting, though, isn't it? Because the game designers obviously know that's what it's going to cause.
They might not though. That's the problem. Is you might not have play tested it enough to know it's going to have that.
Maybe.
I know we like to think as game designers and game publishers as the almighties, the all-knowings, but the chances are that might have only seen a play 3 or 4 times and no one fed back.
A combination.
It wasn't.
The reality was this, but just to give you guys a bit of an understanding of what happened, I was able to do something really knobby that was probably only designed to be able to be afforded a couple of times a game.
Yeah.
But what I did was I was able to mitigate that by creating a different engine that basically paid it off.
The perpetual engine of knobbiness.
I could do it every single time without an issue at all, without even costing myself anything. Yeah. And it just wasn't the original design of the card. No. And I loved it.
So you broke
these
it,
guys not
is
so
what
much.
you're saying.
Felt like it broke it, yeah.
Yeah, it did break it a little bit.
So
that's interesting, isn't it? Adrian, I think you had what other game?
Yeah, Furnace was the one where the expansion really took away from the game. So I loved Furnace. I know Rob's fallen in love with it as well and playing solo and all that kind of stuff.
Bangs on about it all the time.
Yeah. So absolutely loved it. I bought the mat and then I thought, you know what? I might as well buy the expansion because the expansion is a modular sort of expansion, so it's got generally some extra cards. It's got 3 or 4 extra modules you can chuck in and a better solo mode, and all of that's as well as a 5th player, and all of that sounds great. But having played all but one module, I don't like any of them, and to the point where adding the extra cards in without really adding too many modules in just to get the 5 players, I found a really negative experience where every game I've played with any of the modules, I've kind of ended it and gone, no, I just didn't enjoy that at all. So, but I've 3D printed an insert to fit it all in with the mats and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so you got to keep it now.
Well, it feels like weird. It feels hard to kind of separate it out. So, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of almost stuck with it as a set. But I've now found a way to kind of separate off the expansion bits, because before some of those cards were mixed in and it was hard to separate them out. So I've had to go through and almost redo how I had it set up in order to make it easy just to play the base game. And if people ask what those extra bits are in the box, I say, we won't worry. I don't bother about it now. Because
solo mode.
Yeah, I genuinely had such a bad experience with all the modules I played, and I just was like, I don't want to play the last one because I can't imagine that's going to add anything.
Yeah.
That can be a real pain with expansions, can't it? If you're trying to then sort of retroactively take them back out because you want to teach someone the basic version or whatever, that can be just time consuming and make you probably not want to play the game in the first place.
And sometimes expansions include fixes.
Yeah, so you've got to keep your...
And then you don't want to remove it, or you'll have to just chuck it in the bin or sell it knowing that whole bits of it are missing or the originals are put in the box instead or whatever that make it not a great...
Well, let's face it, like the Feast for Odin expansion is a big patch.
Yeah.
Like the whole expansion just feels like it's like we're just patching the whole game.
Yeah.
So you would never play base, you just play this new version of it. But that's okay.
Furnace, they not redesigned, but they kind of clarified one of the base starting cards in a way that I don't think was originally sort of written correctly.
Yeah.
So I can't remove it because then I would have to give someone the asymmetric power that it came in the base game.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
But having played the expansion of Furnace recently, because Rob brought it out and he just threw it all in.
Oh, all of it?
Yeah. Yeah, we were playing a game with our wives, and I said, "Are you sure you want to do this, Rob?" And I think he had that thing of, "I've already mixed it."
Yeah, it's not separating
and
now.
He's like, "Oh, do I sit here and decant everything out?" And he didn't. And I played it. I didn't hate it like you, but I didn't feel it added anything more than the base game. I felt like, okay, it's a bit extra bits, but
it's just more to explain was what I found every time, with adding nothing.
It didn't feel like added anything.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
greed.
Mine is a weird one because I've never actually played it, but I think that's why it's a poor expansion because I just know what it's going to do to the game. And I think, Adrian, you've had the same thing. Barren Park.
Yeah.
Barren Park on its own, really great, simple little game. I've owned Barren Park, Bad News Bears, whatever expansion it's called.
That's what it's called.
It's a great name.
Yeah, which basically has like monorails and something. It didn't. I stupidly took it out the shrink when I bought it to look at it. Yeah. I put the little monorail bits together and never touched it because what I like about Barren Park is the simplicity of it. I don't want that to be more complicated because it's a really, really good entry-level game for people that's super, super simple. I don't want it to be more complicated. That takes away from the whole point of the game for me. Mm-hmm. So I've just never bothered with it. And I guess maybe if you've played Barren Park with, say, your kids and you want to kind of see if they can handle a bit more complexity, maybe that's a great use for it. But that is never what Barren Park was for me. Barren Park was always a game that I could play with non-gamers. It's kind of inoffensive, just cute little bears on Tetris pieces. Great. I don't want monorails and extra things to have to deal with because I don't want to teach them that. If I wanted to teach them a more complicated game, quite frankly, I'd get a better game that's specifically more complicated, not just a easy game that's spicy.
Yeah, it's like taking Patchwork and then going as an expansion that turns it into a Lacerda.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'll go and play a different game.
Yeah. It's not what it's for. Yeah,
I love that idea. But
I want that expand. I just want to see it.
I want to see what they could do with it.
Yeah.
Here you go, Vital. Off you go. What can you do with this? Yeah.
I've had a little think and come up with one as well, and it's going to be a little bit controversial.
Oh, it sounds like it's only one of my games then.
It is one of your games.
Which one?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't like the Mother of Dragons expansion. Just don't like it. It makes Game of Thrones into a game that I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
So, for an example, with Game of Thrones, it's all about backstabbing and screwing everyone over as much as possible. Whereas that game, in order to not let the dragon win, who are super powerful, you need to be a little bit working together, or at least to be able to let one or two factions kind of poke away at the dragon. Otherwise, you have free reign. And that level of cooperation is not Game of Thrones for me.
I agree to a point.
To a point.
Because some of that expansion, I think, is needed.
I do really like the extra houses.
The vassal states.
Yeah, the vassal states, absolutely. Yeah. But I will say the main extra board, because I did think about
Essos
that.
Board,
The Essos board, for me, does not add anything and actually takes away.
It is a different game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not one that I particularly enjoy. Although I haven't played as the Dragons yet, so I still need
When I win with them, I might change my mind.
No, I genuinely won't, even if I do.
I think that's an interesting point because you just said there that the vassals, I've never played this game, so I'm talking totally out of a position of not knowing anything about it, really. You just sort of said it makes the base better with the vassals. So it makes the base game better, but you found that it actually, a lot of the expansion changed the game. Can we think of any other expansions that actually make the base better? And that's probably going to involve patching a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the one I mentioned there, the Norwegians expansion, Feast for Odin.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's just a patch, isn't it?
I mean, I've probably done it a disservice there, but it's probably more than the patch. But it has made the base game better because it said, that board with all of this 36 actions on it. Yeah, throw that one away. We've done a whole new board, like literally in the way that the way it's broken down, and it's more modular, so that if you've got a different player count, you can flip a section of it over rather than having this whole board that you have to flip. So it's more balanced out, and because I think there's a problem with whaling, not in general, just in the board game.
We're fine with whaling in general.
I think you'll find there is a problem with whaling in general.
Well, yeah, you're right, because we want to preserve the whales.
Yes, please.
But there's also a problem with whaling in the game. I think it was a bit imbalanced or something. So yeah, I think that has leveled that game out, and they've added some little sprinkly bits in, which just go, that kind of makes sense. But it's not overwhelming as an expansion. I found it's leveled out some of the kinks and it's made it a more all-round better game.
5 of us played one of my favourite basic upgrades to a game the other day.
Ooh.
Played Viticulture.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we
did. So...
Did you not get the memo?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah,
Shit, it's my favourite game. Oh, no.
Looks like you've blushed.
I still cannot work out why Becky doesn't like that game.
I wish I did like it.
I don't get it.
But I just don't.
I don't get it.
It's exactly up her street. I don't know what's going on.
Well...
Anyway.
Go on.
So the original... what are they called? Like, I know them as the spring and autumn decks, but they're now called something else.
Oh, the summer and winter.
Are they summer and winter?
Yeah, they're visitors.
The visitor decks.
Mm-hmm.
The original ones were
Trash.
all over the place. So you could get so many, you could almost just play the game trying to play these cards, visitors cards, and get loads of points off them and not really worry about winemaking at all. And it felt very counterintuitive. So they bought out an expansion. I think it was an Uwe Rosenberg expansion, wasn't it? Or was
I don't know.
I can't
actually.
remember. I know one of them was by Uwe
was it? As a
Rosenberg, one of the
coordination?
deck.
That might be what the Rhine Valley is.
Might be
That
the Rhine
makes
Valley.
sense.
Yeah. But anyway, one of them upgrades those visitor decks, so they're aimed at making winemaking easier and not just scoring points randomly for other things. And so it does kind of focus the game back into what it should have been about in the first place, and not what competitive gamers have kind of turned it into with the base version. So I think that's one of my more favourite ones, which is just a patch, basically.
Yeah.
So do you want to play it more probably as originally intended? Here's the patch for that.
More Euro.
Yeah, more sort of more in the theme, keeping to the theme of what you've signed up for.
Definitely.
Well, I've definitely got one. And it is kind of a patch on top, but you'll see what I mean. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Dune Imperium. So we're doing Imperium, although the first expansion does kind of do exactly what you said, which is basically replace some tiles, like overlay some of the actual thing. And I'm not saying it fixes it, it just makes it more interesting. For an example, it's not just money anymore. You've got the whole trading thing going up on the little, I forget what track they call it. It's been a while since I played, actually. I need to get that in, but like the trading track, was it?
It's to do with
the mining guild or
Spacing Guild.
Spacing Guild.
Yeah. And you're going up, and it just makes it a really interesting little, the spaces up there are really good. You've got, anyway, it adds loads to the game without doing too much. It just adds like overlays with a couple of modules, some more interesting spaces, and it just makes the whole game better. Patching it. And I will say as well, like later on, they do other expansions that kind of do the same, and then they replace a whole bloody board with a new game. And you think, why have you gotten rid of one of my favourite games? And oh wait, this one's even better. So it just. And there are probably plenty of examples, but I've never seen a game have an expansion that is basically almost identical to the original game, but just better.
It still annoys me.
Yeah.
But it annoys me that it is better.
Yeah.
But it annoys me that they had to do it because I've just done that in the freaking first place. But no.
But it is better, isn't it?
It is better.
Like,
Uprising for me is better than base Dune.
I think for me, the point is Uprising is a new game, but it is kind of a patch of the old game, isn't it? And that's kind of why it's the answer to that one.
Yeah.
So which games do you think would be incomplete without their essential expansions, like you just said? Sounds like Dune Uprising fits in that category.
Absolutely.
I think I wouldn't play Lords of War. No.
Lords of War.
Yeah, I would. And I think it's because I've only ever played it like that. If I'd have played the other kind without that, maybe it'd be a different game.
It's actually true.
It is better.
Yeah,
way better.
It's a better game, and I can't imagine why you would play it without. I know Adrian can't imagine why you would play it. End of sentence.
It's one of JP's favourites. I don't know what Adrian's issue.
I was going to say, I always get Adrian would say, but JP, I think, actually hates this game more than me. He's just not very vocal about it.
I don't hate it. I'm so done with it.
I'm going to use a different example then. I think Wingspan with the Oceania expansion should have been how Wingspan always was, because that use of the nectar to act as a wild resource just makes it so much more pleasurable. You're still doing exactly the same thing. You're still collecting your birds. You're still putting them out in the right area. You're still playing exactly the same game. Doesn't change it in fundamentals at all.
Yeah.
It just makes that whole sort of struggle to get a particular kind of food. You're also rewarded for playing the nectar because you get points for it. So it's like a double little bonus.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and I think I might try and teach base Wingspan, but I don't think it's going to take you much more brain power to play Wingspan with Oceania, because it's, that symbol means anything, but don't let it still be on your little thing when you finish the rounds, because it goes away.
Yeah.
It goes off because it's nectar, so it goes rotten, which it doesn't in real life, but whatever, because sugar doesn't go off, right? But fine, anybody can get that. Oh yeah, that little wiggly worm, yeah, that's a worm. Well, actually nectar can be as well. Oh yeah, cool. It's totally simple, doesn't add any more complexity, but makes it a whole lot better.
Yeah. Loads of examples of that, though. We talked about viticulture. I will not play it without Tuscany. I won't. Just won't do it. Don't make me.
Don't do it 2-player. I did not enjoy my 2-player game of Tuscany.
I don't rarely play
No, but it's one of those where I did enjoy our game with 5-player with it, but 2-player I did not enjoy that game with Tuscany. But
and it's like, it's a bit like Terraforming Mars. Would you ever play it without Prelude? No, you would not.
I wouldn't play it with about at least 3 of these. At least 3 of them.
But I did play base TM about 2 years ago. Oh. Even on the base player mats, didn't have the dual layer or anything.
This is disgusting.
I was playing my brother's copy, and I was like, let's have a game. And I just forgot.
What game is he? What even is that? Where's the 3D printed tiles?
No, I spent an hour and a half just getting going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, this is so slow.
Yeah.
It's took forever. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm used to Prelude. It just like jump starts everything.
I don't think I could do it without the trading anymore.
Well, the colonies.
Yeah.
There we go. But I can't think of like really one coin an example. Just so many that I think just fix it enough that that's the new level of the game. I wouldn't go below it.
Yeah.
And you could argue like some expansions when they've done well, which are probably some of these patching ones, is that there's not really any extra to teach it with it in than without it in. But that's not true for all of them. Obviously, some of them are a bit mad.
The one that I thought of bizarrely is Carcassonne, because people play without the river.
Yeah.
I've only played Carcassonne one time ever in my life.
The river is in every copy now. Like, you cannot buy it without the river. It's a mini expansion that I've never... Well, apparently you and Rob, JP and Rob, played it without the river. And it's the first time I've heard of anyone playing that game without the river, because it just sets up the game so nicely compared to if you play with the road start. It just doesn't do anything. So I can't imagine playing that game without the river. But it comes in the base box and is labelled as a mini expansion. And some versions of it, the rules pretty much start you on playing the river.
Yeah, so it's not really an expansion at all then, is it?
But it is in all of them, I think, pretty much labelled as a mini expansion. And yet I can't imagine playing it without, apart from on the computer, because the computer version you have to pay.
I think that's why when I played the digital Carcassonne, it's always been without it. Yeah. And then when Rob wanted to play it, I just play the one I know.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, blinging then. What's the funniest or most ridiculous upgradey type thing that you've bought?
We already know ours.
Well, yeah. Like metal coins or custom inserts. What's the most...
I know my favourite of JP's.
Go on, what's your favourite of JP's? It might be JP's favourite as well. What is it?
Too many bones.
What?
I love those little figures.
Oh, the metal figures. No, but that doesn't count. I didn't buy them.
Yeah,
in your face.
Oh, I'm not criticising you. I think they're awesome.
They're awesome. I was playing with them on Saturday.
It was a present, wasn't it?
It was a present from my wife.
And I think that is almost the nicest way you can have an upgrade.
Yeah.
If you couldn't quite justify buying it yourself, but it's something you really like, and then someone gets you like the
special
swanky,
thing.
Good, yeah.
It's the thing you can't justify buying for yourself.
Because they're always
stupid.
Multiple times the cost of the game, quite frankly, aren't they?
Yeah. I got the trove chest. She bought me the trove chest about, I don't know how many Christmases ago. And then she got me the metal figures. I mean, she asked me what I wanted.
Yeah.
I went, they'll be nice. You know. But yeah, I didn't buy them for
But that's a great present, isn't it? Because you would never think, it's a really good idea to spend over £100 on that pointless thing.
Yeah.
But every time you play that game, you're like, oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
But I tell you what I did buy for myself. So obviously I've gone in with this Cloudspire latest expansion. I have bought the Cloud box.
Oh, is it like just basically
It's basically a trove chest.
Yep.
Slightly smaller. Like 2/3 of a Kallax.
You just love chip theory, don't you?
I just, you know what? I thought, sod it. It'll just complete it, package it all up neatly.
Yeah.
It'll look really good with dust, a film of dust across the top of it.
Hey. I've actually had some games this year, so I'm happy.
Nice.
All right then, Adrian. Somebody who doesn't like blinging up his stuff. Or what's the best thing for you?
The one that really stands out in my mind is actually board game adjacent, and it wasn't an expansion, it was a stretch goal. So A Song of Ice and Fire miniature game, which is it's a Warhammer Fantasy style sort of file and rank game where you sort of push blocks of troops into each other. Sort of thing. All of that kind of stuff. And one of the early stretch goals was to place the first player token, which is a 2, maybe 3-inch circle cardboard thing with a throne on it, into a 20 centimetre tall by like 15, maybe 20 centimetre wide version of the throne.
Or the Iron Throne.
Yeah, but not the one from the TV, the one
Right.
from the book where like
It's just made of swords.
it's just made of swords, and it's supposed to be like 5 people high, like in
Right.
in the books. It's supposed to be really tall. So they made this in like a plastic thing as a stretch goal for this, and you're supposed to hand it to move the first player token round. It's the most ridiculous thing that I don't think I ever saw anybody use.
I love it.
So that was the first thing that came with that game, and then the second thing that came with that game was like it was a unit that you could play and just sat on the side of the board, but you could take it in a list. And what it said was, if you won the game, you could tell the story of how you won in any way you wanted, because victory, like history, is written by the victor.
Yeah.
Right.
And therefore, if you took this 0-point character that you just got for backing it, you could tell the story of your victory in any way you wanted. And
like
I was
a
like,
bard sort of a
yeah,
thing. Okay.
just like,
Embellishing everything.
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? Those two are the most ridiculous things I've ever seen put in a game. And say, not quite a board game,
So
but adjacent.
Did you buy it?
Well, it was a stretch goal
Oh, okay.
that came
So
with
you
it.
got
So
it with
if
it.
you
Good.
backed it at Kickstarter, you got these two things.
Yes.
So yes, I did get them, but they're the most ridiculous like things ever.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
quite
normally
like the sound of that, to
Yeah.
be honest.
and they're hilarious, and you show people them and you're like, this is my first player token, and then it goes back in the box never to be seen again. But quite often I'll find when I look at things and I think, oh, what they've done is they've upgraded the first player marker into something ridiculous that serves no purpose. That's 99% of the time when people sort of talk about ridiculous add-ons or stretch goals, it's normally the upgraded first player marker,
Yeah.
because they're nearly always silly and unneeded. But that one is the worst.
Slash best.
Yeah. Sort of, I never painted mine, but again, it's a dry brush away from being done. It's spray it silver and then dry brush it and ink it, and you've got it painted as well. So it is ridiculous, but yeah.
You know what I always had a soft spot for is your metal dice that you had for Hoplo.
Yeah, they are nice.
They are really nice feeling.
Yeah. That was another present. So I don't buy them.
Were they the kind of dice where you roll them and they go conk
Oh,
as
yeah.
you roll them?
They will damage wooden
Damage
tables.
tables.
So you're not going to
Yeah.
play it on your table though, are you?
You're fine because we can use the dice
Use the
tower
dice, but yeah,
or the
of course.
dice trays and keep them in there, and then fine. But if they're rolled with some force, they're
Yeah.
just going to etch straight into wood and stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like shurikens.
Like an arrowhead or something. Yeah.
Played a game of D&D with someone who had
Yeah.
metal dice, and they used to have to like always make sure it rolled perfectly on top of their D&D book.
Yeah.
And when you looked at it, by the time they finished the campaign, the D&D book just had loads of dents in the top of it.
Dunk.
All right, hard question now. If you had to ban expansions forever or upgrades forever, which one are you keeping?
So expansions or upgrades.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
our
have
choice.
both. You can either expand your games that you've got,
Oh, it's easy.
or you can
Easy.
buy.
Easy.
Go on, JP, what are you going for?
Let's get rid of upgrades.
I know you're going to say
Get
that.
rid of upgrades.
I want variety.
Yeah,
Adrian?
probably get rid of upgrades. I was umming and ahhing them because I do believe that a lot of base games are actually very usable, and people just add in expansions because they feel they need to.
Adrian.
Who are you looking
But
at? Hey.
hey, but I do think ultimately I'd rather have more gameplay than more bling.
Yeah.
I'm so far in the other camp, it's unbelievable. I like a game that's basic because I feel like I can get my head around it. When you then add things that make it, yeah, I am just a bit thick. You're right.
I didn't say anything, though.
No, it was the non-verbal communication you just did. But you're right. I like kind of we play. First world problem again. We play too many games, so I like playing the same game a lot, so I can really feel like I get it. Then you start messing about with it by adding an expansion. Oh, now this does this thing. Now that what you thought you knew, this is now this. And you're like, oh, I just figured it out. Give me shiny bits every time. Oh,
Yeah, Ark Nova
Don't
was
shine my
not
bits
popular, was it? Not the Ark Nova expansion did not go down well in the Becky household.
no, I don't like marine animals. I'm not interested. And I've played that game so many times on BGG. I don't really care about marine, but I'm coming to terms with it now because I've played it more. And that's what I need in order to be happy with the
repetition.
game. I need the repetition because I'm a bit thick. So I don't want to keep changing up what things do because I don't like change. I like it to be how it is. But if I can have a shinier token, shine them bits up every time.
Shine me up, baby.
Shine my bits up every
Jazzle.
time. Yep. Yeah. So that about wraps that up, I think.
Okay.
Unless anybody else can think of any other things.
Loads, but we'd be here all night.
It's an interesting topic. I think it's just one you can always explore, right? And
Yeah,
there's just so many
I just-
facets on why we do it and why we
I
expand.
was just trying to justify myself the ridiculous.
You were. This
Yeah.
episode is
Yeah.
really just
Well, it
all
was-
about
But
your bark
because,
over.
it's because we'd said absolutely not, then absolutely yes, then absolutely not. And I just, with the same people, how did we do those? And we'd absolutely convinced ourselves that we were picking the right one.
Weakness.
I haven't quite had buyer's remorse yet, but I played Ark Nova on the computer the other day and had an absolute. I turned the computer off.
She had a right old.
I had a right old go. I just was.
You rage quit.
I did not enjoy the game. I was like, F this. I don't even want to play. Stupid Ark Nova, I'm not even playing it. And I thought, I've just spent.
Cancel the Kickstarter.
No, don't go to the. But yeah, it's the same game, right? So I guess I'm just not as interested in playing it on the computer as a solo game.
You know, can I speculate what it might be? Sometimes.
If you say hormones, I might have to murder you.
I was not going to say that. I mean, you know, it might be that. But I think, guys, I think it is that.
It's not.
No, I was going to say before you were so incredibly rude. No, I was going to say I think what it is sometimes in Ark Nova you can make a little mistake with it.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to undo in the real game.
Yeah.
On that you can undo it.
Yeah.
Like it's like Becky accidentally put an animal into a 4 enclosure instead of a 2, and it ruined her game.
Yeah.
And it
But yeah,
absolutely
you can't undo that on the digital
and
version.
in real life,
you know what? I didn't mean to
it's
do
the
that.
same. I hadn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
finished my turn.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't. It's like,
Wouldn't undo
why
it.
is that saying occupied? It's not. I've got a 4 leopard to put in there. Oh my god, it's got a fucking parrot in it. What is going on?
Yeah.
And I couldn't undo it. And I just thought I'd been working up to this. I'd been
yeah.
building up. I'd made sure I'd got animals to level 5 so I could play 2
You just
animals.
basically threw your game
and then
away.
I couldn't. Yeah. And I was like, F
Over.
this. I ain't playing
To,
them up.
to be fair, I've been to zoos where they've said there's an animal in an enclosure, and it's a
And there's
massive
not.
enclosure, and you're like, clearly not. They've emptied this out
Well,
for some reason.
that was my zoo.
Yeah.
You were expecting to see a leopard and you saw a parrot.
It's like the opening scenes in Jurassic Park, right, where they're going round and they can't see any dinosaurs and like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
And I think that's enough about expansions and blinging up your games, I think. So, on to the next section. So, on to our next segment, which is called Connect 4, brought to us by Adrian a couple of weeks ago. And we are drawing from a real life deck. There we go. Of cards, which on all of them have a board game component or mechanic, something in those genre, for example. And we're going to pick 4 of them, and we have to basically try to get a game that ideally has all those 4 components, or 3, or as near as we can get. So our components today are combat,
Ooh,
deck or bag building,
nice.
fantasy, and miniatures.
I'm in.
I got it.
Already.
Wow.
So if you want to play along at home, your 4 components are combat,
Yeah.
deck or bag building, fantasy, and miniatures.
You might say it's a 3.5 out of 4.
Okay.
I am picky, so I have.
I know you are.
3.5.
I know you are. But I'm going to go Dune Imperium.
Okay.
got combat.
Definitely got combat.
It's got deck building in it.
100%.
It's got miniatures in it.
100%.
Fantasy's the one I'm quibbling.
Dune is definitely fantasy. 100%.
I don't even give you a half a point for
The miniatures are for the deluxe expansion.
And?
Well, of course, JP's got that one.
I'm not even convinced they really qualify as miniatures. They
They are.
Oh,
meeples.
come
They
on.
are-
They are little people.
The little, the ones you win for getting majority or whatever up a certain track. They
What
are
about your
miniatures.
They're not the
the
main
little guys
pieces,
that do
though.
the combat? They're little
your
miniatures.
agents and troops in the deluxe expansion, I grant you, it's not the base, in the deluxe, are minis.
Go on. Well,
I
would
think
someone
I-
like to challenge it?
I
for
think
more?
it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty
And the
good.
worms in the Rising are miniatures.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
I think he's
Yeah.
nailed it. I hate to say it
Nailed it.
because JP doesn't normally win at things.
Yeah,
so
it's not here.
Oh,
to
did
be
you
fair,
feel
it's
the
not- it's
burn
not
through
high
the
fantasy, but
audio
it is
waves?
fantasy, so.
Yes, it is fantasy. It's not set on the real world, is it?
It's not orcs and goblins,
No.
but it's.
No.
But then if it's like Dune's a weird universe for that because it's,
It's
like
fantasy,
because you think
definitely.
sci-fi, which it is,
Yeah, but it's
but
got
it also,
magic involved.
but it's also a bit fantasy-esque,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's a bit weird, that.
You've got the
Yeah,
Bene
they call
Gesserit
Star
with their
Wars,
whole
like,
kind
it's
of
got fantasy elements.
It's-
They do call it that.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
I think
So-
JP has nailed it.
That's the one that came to me straight
Yeah.
away when you
I mean, I
flop
guess
them out.
you could say something like, what about Lord of the Rings Journey to Middle-earth? You're not really deck
It's
building,
not
though,
deck
are you?
building. But it is got miniatures and it is fancy and there is combat in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But
better than my Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is just a bag builder with fantasy setting in it.
With quack doctors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
No
you're making
miniatures or
potions.
combat.
Because that's not an actual thing, is it? So
oh, what about Clank Catacombs?
That was my initial thought, but I'm not sure about the miniatures.
Definitely
side.
fancy. Oh, there's little meeples. They're
Yeah,
little.
They're
I'm not
meeples.
sure they count as.
We have to go because
It's
of
a
Yeah.
solid 3.
Yeah,
It's a solid
yeah.
3.
is it bag building? Because you're bag building as a group,
But
aren't
you're
you?
deck
It's not-
building your
Deck
deck.
building.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you're deck
I
building.
didn't. Oh, Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
So you're building between
Yeah.
rounds. You're making
Yeah.
it so it's not like a deck building like Dominion, but you
We'll
are
call that-
building
we'll
the
call
deck
that a
as you
draw.
go.
You are.
Miniatures. There's miniatures
Yep.
for the 4 people. Combat. You're doing combat all the time,
the
and
time.
it is in a fantasy realm.
Yeah. Oh, I think that was a pretty successful.
Better than our
better
previous
than-
attempts.
Yeah. So we'd love to hear from you guys if you've thought of any better ones or any ones that are more specific than that. Please let us know on the old socials.
Nice.
Now it's time for our penultimate turn. What have we got coming up on the horizon? What board games are sitting there in potentia, ready for us to play? Kerley, take it away.
You know what? It's going a little bit quiet coming up soon, actually. I don't have very much. We're going away at the weekend to my friend Becky and Hans.
We'll definitely be gaming
And
there, won't we?
We'll be gaming there a lot, but we haven't really decided what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to going. The only game I've decided I'm definitely taking is Orléans.
I think they'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orleans.
Orleans, yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry, Orleans. Yeah, so we're definitely going to take
JP
that.
shakes his
I
head
haven't
in
really
disgust.
decided what else I want to take yet. Maybe Clank they might like, maybe.
We've played Clank with them before. I
Have we
think they would
before?
like it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think maybe one of their children might like Clank. I think Jack
Yeah,
would like Clank.
possibly. But so yeah, so I can't really say I'm looking forward to because I don't know what I'm actually going to play yet. But yeah, generically looking forward to going.
Of course, coming up on the horizon, we have the Fox and Hounds Devon board game event at the sort of middle of October. So if you've already got tickets for that, fantastic. Can't wait to see you there. I think the tickets have already sold now, haven't they? Yeah, Curly's nodding his head. So I'm afraid if you haven't managed to snaffle your tickets, I'm afraid they are all sold out. Please don't try and attend without your tickets because we'll have to turn you away. And that's really, really, really sad. We don't want to have to do that. But for all of those that are coming, can't wait to see you there. JP, what's on your horizons?
I think I mentioned last time Essen, so I think that's still true. So I won't bang on about it. I think just looking at the games calendar and what's coming up, we've got a quite exciting 6-player of Apex Legends on the horizon, but that's a way off yet. So I think that's like November. And yeah, I think we've got a little games day around Rob's house that's coming up. I think he's looking to do a few games. He'll probably want to push Furnace. I'm just warning you all.
I've already had it.
But I'm just saying he will. But no, I think the other thing that I'm looking forward to is a Nucleum game.
Oh,
Yes, because the latest expansion has
so
arrived.
expansions are ready, aren't they?
Again, talking about expansion. It does what I like having expansion, which is more variety. So it's the Energy Research Institute and gives you 8 more experiments to play with. So I'm looking forward to just trying a few of those out and see how they twist the game up, because some of them are quite mad. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah.
Adrian, how about you?
Well, I already talked about Tianxia, which we talked about last episode, but that is just around the corner now. So yes, we've had another recording between now and then that I wasn't expecting, so that's definitely still on the horizon. Otherwise, I've got a couple of weekends or days planned, but I don't know what I'm playing. So I will be playing games, but I really don't know what the plan is for that. I have started reassembling my hobby desk for all my Warhammer miniature painting and stuff like that. That's it really. I haven't got anything solid really in the diary apart from
Fair.
just a game with Mark Monk.
Open gaming.
We got to
That's
mention him
nice, isn't
apparently. I think we're on sponsorship or something with
We
him.
are.
So I
it?
have
Oh,
to
well,
mention Mark
okay.
Monk.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. We mentioned him 3 times last episode.
Oh, did we? Oh, we
And-
need to beat that.
Well, we just said 3 times.
Oh,
So
there we go then. We're on target.
There you go, 4 times this episode.
And what am I looking forward to? Well, I'm definitely going to try and get more games in the calendar. I have started my list of what I want to play. Still want to play some of the ones I haven't managed to get to the table yet, including Power Vacuum. Really want to play that. Parks, so I might need to find a day when Adrian's free so he can teach us how to play.
I'll bring the second edition.
Save me the teach. No, I don't want to play with your new second edition. I want to play with the shit edition that you sold me.
It's much prettier.
And that's why I like it. So yeah, I want to play those things. So yeah, got some dates to get in the diary.
So I just got a little bit of a shout out. I've emailed Contention Games about Slay the Spire.
Oh, yeah.
The sleeves were starting to come away. They were starting to really wind me up. I emailed them and told them that I wasn't very happy about it. And they're sending me 500 brand new sleeves from a different batch that is not defective.
Oh, that's cool.
Shout out to them. Good customer service and sorting me out with some new sleeves.
Nice.
It's going to be a pain in the bum to re-sleeve it, but it really is not.
They are peeling off pretty bad.
Oh, are they really bad?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if mine starts doing that, I'll know where to come.
Yeah, give them a shout. They were super good.
No, I meant you. You got 500.
Oh, I need them all, mate. Sorry.
Fair enough.
So I think that just about wraps us up for this week. Thanks again, as always, for everyone who is listening. Thank you especially to our lovely coffee supporters who donate us their pennies to mean we can upgrade our kit. So thanks to all our coffee supporters for using word of mouth to get our podcast name out there. We don't do any other advertising, so we really rely on you guys. If that is the only thing you can do to support us podcast people, that is perfect for us. We do have a Discord channel. I don't know anything about Discord other than it's a thing that keeps popping up every now and again when someone comments, and I maybe sometimes reply. Yeah. So that's kind of a place where anyone that wants to come and say hi can come and have a chat. We have a few of our designer friends that are also on there, so that's really lovely. As always, we're on all of the socials, so please reach out to us wherever you can. So as always, everyone, thanks again for listening, and whose turn is it anyway?